1 day from the midterm elections, tomorrow's the big day. If the Democrats take back the House, I think you can say goodbye to tax cuts 2.0. They could even raise the corporate tax rate. Grover Norquist is with us, American Tax Reform President. Grover, welcome back. Where you been? I haven't seen you in months.
Invite me. I'm always here.
OK, sorry about that. If the Democrats do win control of the House, is it possible that, well, I think it's probable that you won't see tax cuts 2.0, but is it possible that you could put corporate tax rates back up again?
The Democrats, if they take the House, will try and push a tax increase. They will threaten to close the government down, to not pass a budget for defense and the rest of the government and say, unless you give us a tax hike. So they will take they'll probably not have the Senate. They certainly won't have the president. If they get the House, from there, they'll try and blackmail the rest of the government into a tax increase as part of some mega deal with many stupid things in it.
Well, that could be really damaging for the economy and certainly for the market.
Absolutely. The market, I think, expected more tax cuts year by year. The Republicans have said if we have the House, Senate, and the presidency, there's a tax cut every year, So you start with no tax cut at all if the Democrats take the House or the Senate, and they will push for a tax increase. I believe the president will refuse to give it to them. The Senate is very strong. Most senators have signed the no tax increase pledge and kept that pledge over the years. The Ds will try and push for raising the corporate income tax. They've even announced, one of their top budget guys announced that he wants to take it up to 27%, which add the 4% average state and local income tax, corporate income tax, takes you to 31%, higher than communist China, higher than France, higher than Germany. It makes it higher than everybody else again. It would undo all of the progress of the last year or so. And
but look, if they would try to do that,
yes,
but they would blackmail on the budget. If we don't get a tax increase for corporations, you don't get a budget, and we shut things down. That's quite a threat.
Well, it's exactly what they'll do. When the Republicans only had the House, the president wanted to have a $1.4 trillion tax increase. He got none of it. The Republicans said, we're not raising taxes, period, bring spending down. We actually dropped spending from 24% of GDP to 20% of GDP. There is a lot of power in the hands of one House. You can be used for good, stopping Obama's tax increases, bringing promised spending down from what he wanted, or to try and push for a tax hike. Very dangerous.
What are you going to do for the next 2 years if the Democrats do take the House?
Well, in the next several months, I'd like to think that the Republicans could pass a budget for the next 2 years, a bare-bones budget, so that if they try and close the government down, it doesn't go to zero. It goes to sort of what we spent last year. Give yourself some time with one of those budgets that you pass on budget reconciliation, 51 senators and a simple majority in the House. Let's budget out for the next 2 years and take closing the government down off the table so the Democrats can't use it as a threat.
Okay.
In terms of economics, the president understands, and has said he wants to, index the cost basis of capital gains by executive order, by Treasury Department regulation. This should have been done 2 months ago. I think we'd be looking at a very different election if we had, but Treasury slow-walked it. We can still do it anytime that the president is there and the Republicans have the Treasury Secretary.
I want you to call it for us. The election is tomorrow, obviously. There's 3 scenarios. A split decision, Democrats take the House and the Republicans keep the Senate. Second one, the Republicans sweep, keep both. Third, the Democrats sweep and win both. Which one do you see happening?
I think the Republicans will certainly hold the Senate, and I think it's more likely than not that they will hold the House barely. But it is going to be very, very close one way or the other.
Got it. Grover Norquist, as always, thanks for joining us. Don't be such a stranger, Grover.
Look forward to seeing you.
You got it.